Some of you already know this, but if I don't get it all done this year, don't be too angry with me because I'm about to leave on book tour. But before next Christmas, I will have activities for every day of Advent. Advent is the 4 weeks before Christmas, and it starts on a Sunday. In 2022, Advent starts on November 27th, but I'm about to leave for almost 3 weeks on a book tour to promote my new picture book, The Donkey Song, which was published by Doubletree for Young Readers. It was, which is a division of Random House Children's Books, and illustrated by the New York Times best-selling illustrator Sydney Hansen. I'm an artist, and I'm going to tell you, some people were disappointed that I couldn't have done this book. In the Bible, I think it's important to say this right now. It says everyone in Corinthians. It tells us everybody has a talent. Everybody's talent's not the same. And I think one of the most important things in life is to figure out what your talent is. And I can draw some funny pictures. But I could not have created this sweet mouse. I just couldn't have done it. I couldn't have made that mouse that sweet. And I could not have created this sweet donkey who carried Mary to Bethlehem. And most importantly, I could not have created, look at that, y'all. It takes a person, and I could not have created this scene right here, the donkey and the cow and the sheep I could not have done that. That it's not a funny illustration. It's not wild and wacky. And my illustrations are a little bit wild and wacky. And I consider it one of God's greatest gifts to me that my editor had the presence of mind to get Sydney Hansen to illustrate this book. But Advent, this takes place on a Christian calendar. It takes place on December 24th and 25th. It's Christmas Eve, and the journey started probably a good while before then. But Mary and Joseph, Mary was riding the donkey to Bethlehem, and there's a reason for that. I won't go into all that, but and Jesus was born in some kind of manger, and I think and I choose to believe it was sort of a barn, because I need to think it was a barn, because in my whole life I was told it was barn, and all the animals gathered round. Okay, this story tells that, but that didn't happen for a long time. And I say this over and over again. It is not, God could have said, in the beginning it was dark, I created light, I created the world, I created Adam, I created Eve, and I created Jesus all in one day. He didn't do that. He made the world wait. And in the beginning, there was no Jesus. There was no moon. There were no stars. The world was black. It was dark. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now, the earth was formless. I'm going to turn it into a circle because I'm getting ready to make a Jacki tree ornament. But it was just a blob. It was like a blob. And it was empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering, and the King James Bible says the Spirit of God moved across the face of the deep. And God said, let there be light. Now, so it says right there, Genesis 1:2, the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. So it was dark, but it was watery. And sometimes I don't think we like to think about that, or we don't include that as part of it. But that was a story. This is it, basically. This is what happened before God decided to turn this wet, probably cold, probably smelly, like an old pond that's stagnant, this watery, formless blob into a beautiful world. This is it. It's it. No stars, no moon, nothing else. But God's Spirit moved across the water, and he said, let there be light. So this is going to be the ornament that you're going to make for for Genesis 1 and 2. No, Genesis 3. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. God saw the light, that it was good. And he separated the light from the darkness. And he called the darkness night. But in the evening and the morning of that day were the first day. So on the first day of creation, God created, it was dark, it was already dark, it was already watery, but all God created that day was light. So that's going to be your first ornament. I'm going to try to get the patterns up for you, but you can make this. You can make a circle. You can punch a hole in it. I have said this over and over again. Of course, I probably can't pull it up for you right now, but I used some. I'll put the link in there. I used some Hobby Lobby circles that they're already ready, and I'll do that in just a minute. I'll show you in just a second where they are. But this is traced from there. I traced the black. I made water because it wasn't just black. It was watery. It was watery. The Bible tells me so. And then God, on the first day, changed it from that gray nothingness to light. And that is the first day.